Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Thanks a lot for joining us. We're here, we're live, a wee bit behind regular scheduling, so apologies for that. But we're here for some FC BarcaLomond members action, wouldn't you just believe it? Thought we had it all switched on and fired on, but there you go. There's always something that's got to be a wee bit amiss, but we're here and we're live. Thanks to everyone that's joining us. Fist bumps to everyone on arrival, and I've already seen you guys in the live chat. Johnny TH, Ian, Luke, Alex Coombs, Ian Sorare again, of course, Lewis West, good to see you. And we'll be live until about, I don't know, like 10 to 6, quarter to 6, something like that. So I thought I would kind of just get it started a bit earlier. I just kind of booked it for like a safe time today. And then just with, you know, all the stuff that goes on, I thought as soon as I'm ready, we go on. So there's no like definitive start time. We'll wait for people to show up and all that good stuff as well. But yeah, we're here to kick on for the next, you know, the thick end of 3 hours essentially. But yeah, Lewis West, maybe let's see if I can get on when I'm home. Nice, love it. Yeah, we'll be on for a good while, to be honest. And my camera's a wee bit glitched on me here because I think I didn't have it fired up properly, so I wonder if this will help it. That wee thing's still there. That'll annoy me. But anyway, that's by the by. I guess with a wee bit of rivals for the internationals. I seen Kang was ready to start, and I thought, oh, we've got to go Korea versus Korea against someone in rivals and see if we can get any more joy, because I'm sitting on 11 essence, pardon me, not 11, 19 essence at the moment for limited. And the next time I turn this out, obviously it's a card giveaway for you guys, which is always fun. And the way I've been mainly getting maybe like the half of the latest half of the batch of essence that's there, it's from the rivals boxes. They've been pretty generous to me when I've been hitting like the 3-win streak as well as some of the daily missions. And you know, the division system is not kind to me. I don't know how I was in Division 8 and then I was like chasing promotion, and then I forgot about it for a few days and I got relegated. I don't know how that happened. So anyway, it's one of those ones where like it does really feel like you take your eye off the ball for 1 week, you could be screwed. So anyway, I thought let's get some international utility on the go. Let's try and make sure we can get promoted in this international break. So when the stuff comes back, maybe we're back into a division where it's at least a little bit more befitting, you know, where we should be at this point in the season, having to restart just with the off-season tumble that we took, you know. Monkey, good to see you. Benny, fist bump, my man, good to see you. Mon frere. And it's a nice afternoon up here in Glasgow. The sun is out. It's nice and fresh and cold. Bit of an autumn day, as it were. And yeah, so we've got rivals action on the go. In terms of internationals, we kind of did a wee peek at it. I think it was yesterday. I just went live just because I just kind of I was going to do this stuff anyway, and I'm in that kind of zone where I'm going to do it anyway. Might as well just get the live stream on the go and see what you guys' thoughts and feelings are, and see if there's anything we can kind of yeah, just kind of sharing the experience of, if that makes sense. But yeah, only get 2 little teams here, and you know, if Rulei's going to play, and if I get the Japan starters, that's the thing I'm really holding back, and Austria, I suppose, as well. If I get all the starters, I'll be quite actually optimistic with how well I could do. Let's see how Kang's going to do in this one. You'd expect Korea to smash Jordan. If not, just Kang would do well, you know. This team's got no hope in yeah. So I've got wee international hope, which is quite unlike me. Normally, like, I've only got All Black, if that. And normally the outfield players I've got just crap games. I've not got a forward and all the rest of it. But the collection being this well-rounded at this point, like, really is obviously not a permanent kind of guy I can rely on. But some amount of outfield options across like different continents as well. Wee bit of South America, wee bit of Asia, wee bit of Europe. It's fun. It's working out nice for me. Can you use your control of the internet to let me register my Murich? So if you're having problems with a guy that's not showing up, there's a way to get around it. And I don't think I had to do it with really this game week that we're in at the moment. But when you're in edit lineup, if you just go to guys that have no game week and put that filter on, they'll come up. They'll be there. You'll be able to select them. So that's the way to get around it. Unless the game isn't Opta covered. If the game's not Opta covered, then there's no tricks for that. It's just not going to happen. So I don't have that power, if that's the power you need. And it's Sorare that own and control the internet, not me. So yeah, maybe Sorare, you need to go cap in hand too, as it were. I've already got the first couple of requests up and going, so I've got one for Lucas AD, we've got one for Alex Coombs Walnuts, we've got Ian Sorare, and Lewis West. I think you're Road to Gammon, so we can get yours popped up as well. I don't know if you were just saying you were going to be here for hanging out and watching on and whatnot. If so, fine. Yeah, just thought I'd put that there just in case. So yeah, I'm quite happy to get kind of stuck into it whenever, yeah, it feels like we've got a wee queue up and going and we've got enough stuff to get stuck into. Some nice requests in nice and early already. And for any of you guys, there's about a couple of dozen of you here. You probably all know the script already, but it's FC BarcaLomond member section time. But this one, like, I had to look back. We've not done it in about 5 or 6 weeks, but I'm just going to leave this one public. We're not going to go into the clubhouse for this one. So if anyone does want to just sit and chill and listen along with us as we review some galleries, talk Sorare strategy, have a look at the market, no doubt, eventually, depending on how some of these requests are, which is all quite strategical. So yeah, if you just want to hang out for that, fantastic. And if you want to actually get a request done, normally we do this in what I just called the clubhouse here, but we just basically turn it to members only, so only the members can watch the stream, because we do talk about like sensitive stuff. If you're looking to sell cards, buy cards, whatever, and it's normally a lot more fun when we do it in the privacy of the clubhouse, as it were. We can just get our teeth stuck right into the galleries and all the strategy stuff we're going through. But it's always nice to do 1 or 2 of them out here for anyone else who's a subscriber to the channel that is maybe thinking about getting their season ticket for £4 a month, £1 a week to get the gallery reviews once a week. We do build up lineup builders once a week as well, and I think in this international break we'll just do some sort of bonus content or something to replace lineup building, because I don't think many of you guys will be too different to me, where it's like you've got 2 strikers, 2 keepers, and just fill in the rest from there. XD Rai, yes, we can add you on as well. XD Rai, yeah, I remembered it. Go me. Because I went live, I'm sure it was yesterday, just to do a wee bit of international housekeeping, going into the weekend, but we come back from this international break and doing a wee lineup build to see, because I just want a goalkeeper, and just to see how the fixture's going to shake out and a few other bits and pieces. Is there anything that I could be looking to bring in this international break to just further round off the kind of the the strategies that are going on here at the moment. And it kind of, it didn't take too much scratching around, to be honest with you, but I do think we might have an opening to get a wee champ in-season team on the go. But I do hesitate because it's a very competitive competition for a start. And the advantage of Sociedad especially is La Liga rather than Champion. There's been a lot made of that recently, especially on the Sorare Data channel. Fantastic content. I recommend all you guys check it out if you haven't already. But the reason this would be Champ is because I just want a goalkeeper from Ligue 1. So the in-season effort would be Champ. And obviously I've got a mainly Champ-based classic thing on the go. So using a classic card as a kicker is way more viable in Champ. But the Sociedad spine, as it were, doesn't really lend itself to smashing Champ if the power in most game week situations, So that's when I need to. I'm still kind of stewing on it, what do I do? I maybe even try and trade around the Lassaneur. I'm not going to get a Ramiro for him, of course, but even just somebody else in La Liga that's in season, that might be something I have a look at for myself. Rare in season La Liga. Is there anyone that's a comparable price to Lassaneur? I know these keepers well enough where I don't think I would be too worried about, like, oh, that's a Lassaneur type guy, because it's like, of course, that's what it would be for the manager sales. Oh, I don't know why. I thought this was an auction for a second there. Valles going cheap because he's not playing, obviously. I don't think this guy goes for much, and I think all these guys seem pretty, like, even Severa here. Special edition Sorare is calling to me, isn't it? Carl Hein is significantly more expensive than Sergio Herrera. See, I wouldn't mind a Sergio Herrera. Kellison's injured. I don't know if I want two Kellisons. I might try for that Sergio Herrera, by the way. Yeah, I don't think any of these guys particularly speak to me. We've always been a fan of Sergio. 3 listings, I wonder who holds them. Yeah, we don't want classic, we only want in-season, because that's what we're going to try and trade with. Simon Asta. Cacho, very active, yada yada. Yeah, so it's really this guy. Is there anything, I wonder, what does he play with? 122 rares, a lot of in-season on his top page anyway. I don't see him being that up for a Lassaneur for Sergio Herrera. Maybe it would be, I don't know. Enzo Fernandez. A fair amount of them are. That's a good one, by the way, isn't it, Enzo? Traded in a wee Pacheco, won a Livramento. That's fun. I guess he's probably won the Sergio Herrera as well. Fancy selling him. So yeah, that might be a tough one. I don't know if I'll be able to trade that one around. I'll have a wee peek back at that later on, perhaps. And then who's this guy? Cracho. 28 rares. Seems to be quite champion based. A lot of classic. Oh, he's got a wee bit of in season as well. He's got some Sociedad lads, wouldn't you know it? He's got a nice wee rig here, hasn't he? Fancy selling in the international break, perhaps. Maybe he's just one of these guys that's just always got all his guys for sale. What's the Herrera been going for? Yeah, a wee bit more than what the Lassaneur has been. See, that's funny, isn't it? So La Liga guys, I guess it's because it's got that league-specific competition. For a run-of-the-mill guy, it's quite a difference in price, isn't it? Yeah. They're about the same, but he's like a little bit ahead. So if I was going to try and do a trade, I need to then throw something else against it. And I don't really want to do that. So, yeah, that's something I'm still kind of chewing over, as it were. Yeah. Because with Contender, the in-season part of it is ticking along quite well. If we look at in-season and then filter into Contender, this is what I've been basically able to. Like, I have bought some of the Celtic guys, obviously, or I've bought all the Celtic guys. I've not won any of them, of course, but like I won the Kim John and the Broholm ages ago, and then the last couple, the Trisoldi, the Stojkovic, I've got high hopes for, but he's just not in the team at the moment. And like this is coming along, we've got 2 keepers now, enough outfield options almost. with Trisoldi coming in as well as like having Shaqiri and Brohome, depending on how the calendar shakes out and stuff like that. So that's over like the first 7 games of the season with like a relatively modest budget and trading collateral. Managed to get like 2 teams without really. I don't think I've really been subject to any mad premium. I was even looking at Schmeichel, by the way, and that was a really hard one to get over the line. I had to sold some sort of big super rare for that. I can't remember how that one came around again. But since I bought mine, like he's went higher, you know. So I don't feel as bad about that as it stands now. But you know that will change in time. I actually, you know, the thing that made me pull the plug on or pull the trigger on getting Casper was that I think he gets that 1 year extension, and a guy that will play for Celtic for 2 years is twice as appealing as a guy that will play for one season, given his age. So that aside, I think I really did manage to avoid a lot of the mad premiums on a lot of them. I wonder what Kuhn's kind of racking at the moment. Yeah, I did quite well on Kuhn. I think he's went quite considerably more than what I got him for often enough, which is fun. So yeah, I think patience has been quite good now. Obviously, I've not really yielded much out of these guys yet. We do have the backs of the cards on the go now, so we can see how many rewards. So Schmeichel's been a part of 2 boxes, maybe a card. That Trisoldi probably came from a Schmeichel team, perhaps. Kuhn was a fun one for me, because he's been here since the beginning of the season. 6 box rewards, 3 goals, a couple of assists as well. He's doing quite nice. I really like the card backs. And we also have the club shop thing that happens today. So I went in and spent all my coins earlier on. I got 6 tickets for the mystery signed. I got 1 ticket for the Rivals jersey. I got 1 ticket for the hoodie. And then I've got 910 coins left. And it's like, what can you do with 900 coins? It should give you something for like a random amount, if you know what I mean. Like something to just empty your wallet, like XP perhaps, like just sell XP, a coin a point or something, I don't know. But yeah, so let me know if he's got involved with any of this stuff. It expires in just over a week from now. 6 jerseys, let's hope we get a mystery signed. That should be good fun. And the glitch never happened, eh? I knew they wouldn't let the glitch go through. I knew it. I wonder if we peek. That goalkeeper thing still got my mind turning. Let's have a look at market. How do we do this against Scout? Maybe. I think we want to look at player rankings. Goalkeeper. La Liga. And then Leo Roman is in budget for what we're looking at. Juan Soriano, Julian Arrizabalaga, don't really rely on them. And then, yeah, like everyone else, even Nyland there, mad expensive. Soria, double the price. Karl Hein, not far off the same. Yeah, Sergio's our best bet, I think. Other than Killison, who's injured. Do you know, I might just try and send a wee cheeky. Do we have any other, like, fodder? I wonder. I don't think we'll have any, especially in Champ Euro. If this is where the guys' cards generally are. Let's look at Rare. Champ. Do we have any fodder to go on with the Lassaneur, just to push it over the top if we were to send somebody a wee cheeky trade offer? Yeah, I don't think we do we? Openda's like the only guy that doesn't plug into in Goretzka. They're the only guys that don't plug in their strategy, but I won both of them. So I actually quite like the fact that I won them both as well. Quattro would be an easy rare to ditch. Again, I've got the super rare. The rare doesn't fit into a collection or anything, but it's probably worth Jack. He diddly haw right now because, yeah, he diddly haw because he's not been consistently reliable, man. He's such a pain in the ass for such a good player, man, honestly. Oh, Quattro. Anyway, number 4 Quattro as well, which is just for a bit of fun. Andy Harrogate, fist bump, my man, good to see you. Right, we've got a few gallery reviews up and running in the request list. Normally we go into the FC BarcaLomond clubhouse to get this stuff done, but we're sitting out with all the subscribers on the channel today, just chilling out in case anyone does want to pick up their season ticket, see what is involved in the general gallery reviews that we do. And yeah, anyone's here got any questions or any thoughts or feelings, feel free to let them be known in the live chat. We had a beginner video. I actually got a giveaway started today. In fact, I should have probably mentioned to you. He's probably caught it, but in case you missed it, I'm going to be giving away this Yusuf Maziz in-season card rather than using him as collateral to help me get this goalkeeper trade on the go. And we're giving it away to a random comment on the beginner video that went in today, but the comment needs to be like, you know, beginner advice ideally, you know, something to help people getting started out. And if you could do me a big favour if you are getting involved in it, is at least watch the video for 5 or 6 minutes rather than just hopping onto it for 2 seconds. That just kind of kills the analytics for it, and then it kind of defeats the purpose for me. So yeah, if you could do me a favour as I do you, hopefully a favour if you win. Fingers crossed for that, obviously. But Maziz is a guy that has been around the block and knows his way around a decisive. There's no two ways about that. So good wee guy to win, in-season card as well. And I know there's a lot of you guys, especially on budget players or guys starting out, are probably knocking around the Challenger region. And a wee extra recruit here, a wee number 10 as it were, probably wouldn't hurt, I suppose. Right, so the first one we had up was Luke. And Luke is 88 here. Can you look at my Challenger in-season limited? Got Evander and Heal as classic, but with MLS ending, need new options as the smasher players. Now I do remember actually looking at this not too long ago, which will be good. Be good to kind of pick up from where we left off in that regard. So the nice thing about Challenger on this is it's kind of easy to filter out the rest of the league. So we'd go Eredivisie, Belgium, Turkey, Portugal. We're not taking MLS. We can take Superliga. We can take the English Championship. And we're not touching Brazil, are we? Yeah, that's all. Awesome. So, in terms of goalkeepers, and I know you're telling me already it's the smashers that are going to be the thing, but let's see. And it was in seasons what you said, isn't it? But we do have 3 in-season keepers. I was going to say 2 of them are under 23, but De Keiser's now a big boy. He's now out the Wonder Kid division, so it's just Trubin, and Trubin's one of the best in the region. So yeah, 3 in-season keepers. Great to see. The defence, they've also got the Benfica collection here on the go. I see an AZ guy, just one AZ guy. We've got a few Besiktas guys. So I think, yeah, for 3 teams, like, yeah, you've definitely got 2 defenders out of Benfica most weeks, I dare say, out of the ones you've got. Maybe even you could go full Benfica defence if you weren't even confident with Besiktas. And you've got a wee classic guy or 2 down here as well. So yeah, I think a smash defender would help, because playing double defence and 2 teams in could be a really good option. Never mind the top team being double defence and it paying off really good. Gandelman, got a good L5 and such now, hasn't he? Benfica again, of course. You've kind of got the Benfica and Besiktas crossover ultimate card here with João Mario in the packet. So that's funny. Yeah, so that's fun. You're saying Nep had who's unique at one point. That's fun to hear. I'm not sure. I don't remember what unique Nep got. Tresoldi maybe? No, I can't remember. Was it Tresoldi? Might have been. Herman's Forgan Hazard. I don't mind that as an injury by the way. Big fan of Forgan Hazard, especially in a league like Belgium. And he showed that before the injury. Yeah, you got a lot of midfield cover here. Rafa's, Gedson's, Hadzimetovic has changed club. So that's good collection bonus kind of play there. There's Rashika. Renato, I'd love that card to do so well for you. I'm a big fan of Renato. Just it's a shame the way it's went for him. So I think in midfield, like, there's a few captain capable guys here. And up front, you get Ciro Immobile, the bagsman, classic Pavlidis, and then yeah, like the rest of the guys. You have 3 teams worth of strikers here. So I think to replace classic Heel and classic Evander, Maziz, is that who it was? Is that why his name's burned in the back of my head? Oh, I thought Harry had his card or something, but maybe it was Nep's unique thing. Maybe that's what it was. But I've had his name, when I won him, I was like, oh, I've definitely heard of this guy. Somebody's ingrained his name in the back of my head, and I can't quite put my finger on it. So in terms of, so we want to be looking now for classic. We're looking for a classic Smash Pot and Challenger that's EU based. Now, there's a lot of logic in taking like the Buscagli situation here, but because like there's not really much Dutch stuff. Well, there's pieces of Holland in here, isn't there? But it's primarily Besiktas and Benfica. So that fixture correlation is ultimately what comes above, or what is a number one criteria for card ID at this stage. I would say like Gyökeres is perfect, like in terms of profile. I don't know about affordability or all the rest of it, but as a classic forward, like he would, and again, I know it may be a bit icky depending on where you're from, putting Benfica and Sporting Lisbon cards together. Maybe you put them with the, Team 1 is going to be a hodgepodge of all the cards you have. Ideally, you're just looking to pick the best team for Team 1 and then kind of drain that down from there. And if we're thinking about the best team potentially being, would the best team be potentially double defence? I don't know, probably not. If we had Gyökeres in attack, maybe you could take a double mid. It depends on fixtures, doesn't it? But I don't think double forward is really on the cards for you, is kind of ultimately my point. So if we're not ever going to really go double forward for a priority lineup, and like there's not a lot of classic pressure in your defender's class, like your classic could easily be the forward, Gyökeres is quite a top of the food chain level guy, and I think that's maybe a really good. Yeah, I'm quite confident on that. I think like he marries in with your Benfica fixtures. Obviously, it's a pain whenever he's going to play against Benfica, but let's have a peek. Sporting, have they played Benfica? Oh, that's the wrong button. That's Twitter. Yeah, see, since Twitter changed to X, I just always get it confused with flash scores. The amount of times, see what you just seen me do, I do that so often every day. But let's have a look at La Liga de Portugal, and let's have a look at ye old Sporting Lisbon, reigning top of the table, 27 goals scored, 2 conceded. Jumping Jesus, by the way. Results. Let's see. Have they played Benfica yet? They've played Porto. They've not played Benfica yet. So they've actually still got 2 Benfica games left to go. So if you do get Gyökeres, there's going to be 2 games of pain, essentially, for you. Can we see when it's coming up? In which case, anyway, you're probably not stacking Benfica too hard anyway. We're talking about it being the 29th of December. He plays midweeks as well, of course, which could be good. And where is the other one? Second last game of the season. So yeah, I like Gyökeres. I think that one works really well. And I think he's got that scoring potential, and it's in his position more than anything. Rather than like with Heel and Evander, they're both just mids, and it really doesn't matter that they're mids. Same as Buscagli, it doesn't really matter that he's a defender. You could just take Buscagli, I suppose, but it's the lack of definitive fixture correlation. I'd be quite eager to actually try and get an absolute top shelf guy out of Portugal, even at this stage now. Because we did get one for not Portugal, I beg your pardon, Turkey. Because if we do get Gyökeres in his classic, is there then the potential to get someone that is absolutely smash-tastic? We still get Denmark selected. Yeah. It's like, why is Was there? Because Turkey has them. Wow, Tadic for £4. It feels like maybe just buy that anyway, mate. You do have the Besiktas guys, but is there someone here that's like, yeah, like Sara? That feels like a great card to get right now. Who's Sara at the moment? Is it Galatasaray? So let's do something similar to what we just did a second ago. If Galatasaray played Besiktas yet? Galatasaray top of the table. Again, this is a sort of because we're like 20%ish into most seasons, like you can really see who's playing well and who's on form, and it makes this type of execution much cleaner because you know the guys on form, you know that they're bedded in with the current squad, the current manager, and then it's just about rolling through the fixtures and maintaining form, as it were. So let's see, Besiktas, have they played Gala yet? Or even Fener for that matter? No, I don't think they have. No. They did smash Gala 5-0 in the Super Cup, so that's a good omen, I suppose, if nothing else. But yeah, they've not actually played domestically any big teams yet, which means maybe there's a spell of that coming up. So we have Gala right after Leon, so that'll be a tough week coming up. And then after that, well, when else Fenerbahce? Yeah, December again. And then do we have, yeah, quite a good back end of December there. And then when do they come back around? So there's Trabzonspor. There's Gala there, end of March. And then Fener in May. Wow, season goes all the way to 1st of June. The Turkish calendar is formidable. You know, these guys play football no matter what's going on. In terms of the seasons. All the way into the 1st of June. So yeah, Sara, Tadic, both those guys for price per point. Like you can get both of them for under 15 quid is quite mental, to be honest with you. Gyökeres is a bit more expensive, not got as much circulation, especially at Classic, so it's not as much of a drop off there. In terms of the Classic 10 season pricing, you'll probably see the same thing next year with like Schmeichel. Is there a filter where I can push the L15 up or something like that? Average score, yeah, there we go. Let's put it to at least 50. So got João Mario. Fred isn't bad either. Like, the way Turkey's looking at me, see for like 20 quid, I'd probably just go and try and get like 4 or 5 guys that are like maybe a bit fixture reliant. I don't know what Fred's current standing is. I just know he was ripping it for a minute, got a blooming hat-trick for Christ's sake. Yeah, he's not doing as great now. He's probably not somebody to look at. But this is midfielders and defenders, isn't it? Yeah, Sara for £7 feels like a great get. Tadic as well for £4. And if you get Gyökeres, and depending on your budget, man, maybe just, I think you could do well out of this little Turkish batch. And see if you're like that, oh, I've got, like, Gyökeres is like the thick end of 90. You could easily spend 20 quid on, like, look at that, Guilherme, 60p. He's still at Konyaspor, the team that he's always been him for. Like, just get Guilherme. Like, if you know they're against a team that he does this to, Besiktas won't be them. Gaziantep, it could be them. And at home to Başakşehir, I don't know if I'd rule it out altogether. They have got a lot worse. He is a year older. But he's still got, you know what I mean, game week 5 and 15. It's recent enough for me. 70 and 82. Finished the season off, like, yeah, 70p. Why not? Best challenger rare keeper under £70. JD91. That's a good one. A good kind of. I was looking at champ ones there about a similar price. Would you suggest targeting a league or team to start fresh, or a mix? What do you mean by start fresh? So the video that went out earlier today, the beginners one, really does talk on that. So I think like any strategy you're going to have, especially when you're starting from zero, you need to ideally have it in your mindset at the beginning that there is going to be like a core team there, you know, a spine of, you know, like we're looking at the moment with Lucas here. This team has players in it from a few different leagues, a fair few different clubs, but you can quite clearly see its spine is Benfica and Besiktas, and then from here is where he's got his flexibility to just go and get some of these captain picks that we're scouting at the moment to just kind of not refurbish, but like support that kind of spine that's here. And then it's all about making, so again, I've not really done a video on this one for a while, so I maybe write this down and come back to it properly. But the 3 lineups thing, or the fact that you've got 3 entries into each competition, for me, it's like, it's something that you can trip yourself up with, I think, in terms of game psychology. for like the team that you're putting effort into and the team that you're expecting to win and do well. Because like depending on where you're at in your build or your journey or whatever, like the three lineups thing, it will be strongest, best of the rest, and oh, I've got a third team or something like that. But what the finished article should look like is you've got three teams that are just as good as each other, and you're just dicing with different outcomes. You know, like you go a wee bit more heavy Benfica in one, a wee bit more heavy Besiktas in the other, and maybe because you've got a few copies, maybe a season or two into it, or who your classic options are, you maybe get a classic and an in-season duplicate situation, and then you've got them in different teams, or there's a lot of other interesting ways you can do that. But the ultimate goal should be for whatever competition you're playing in season, classic, limited, rare, regions, leagues, whatever it is you should have three teams that are like, that is the pain you've got, is what ones do I put together, because they're all so good, they're all on a level pegging with one another. And even though they're on a level pegging with one another, you'll get that sense of Gyökeres is on it right now, so he is in team one. The goalkeeper is catching everything. The defence has been working, you know, and you'll have preferences and priorities off the back of that. So depending on what you mean for starting afresh, like you need, there's two spines here with Benfica and Besiktas. I would go further to say as well, because it's two separate clubs, and you know, for the time Lucase's been on the platform, that's very, very reasonable. And again, you can see here, like there's Romney, there's Janssen from Belgium and from Holland, different clubs again that are mixed in with this. And once you've got that kind of base spine, it doesn't, and again, this is what part of what trips people up as well, is they think, right, well, just put a Besiktas team out, just put a Benfica team out, and yeah, that might be team 2 or team 3 or whatever, but team 1 should always be the number one best thing to get going, and the objective should be all three teams you've got in that competition get to the same kind of level. And the easiest way of doing that is getting each team to have a spine, and then having really good flex cards around that you can mix and match with. So that's like the way to go for me. And I think where, like, what I would say, I've been kind of saying this for a wee bit, but I think like once you've been playing Sorare for a while, your gallery should look like mine. Whereas where you should be like, on the 21-22 season, I got a Leipzig collection, and then in the 22-23 season, I got a Girona collection in this kind of example. Is there anything else there? 22-23? Nah, not really. So yeah, that's what I did that season. And then the season after that, I got a Sociedad collection. And the season before that, I got a Valencia collection, and I got this collection, and blah, blah, blah. And once you've been on the game for like 2 or 3 seasons, like you should just have multiple spines that not only like complement each other in the competition you bought them for, or that they live in natively, but these collections will kind of migrate, you know, so you'll end up with guys on good XP levels that have moved into Challenger, and maybe have ended up having something or a different region than the one you're native to, as it were. And that can help you grow out the game, as well as maybe they make moves within that region, you know. So we just looked at, like, Jao Mario's a funny one because he's at both of those teams that Luke has. But like, if Jao Mario, like if you didn't have Besiktas cards here, and Jao Mario goes to Besiktas and you've got a Benfica collection, that's fucking brilliant. As long as you've got the other guy that replaces him at Benfica, because then essentially you've got 2 Jao Marios all of a sudden. You've got him doing his job at Besiktas, and you've got whoever's now taken over his job at Benfica. And if you can get both of them in the same collection, again, that's something that will just help you flex out over time. So yeah, for this, I really like Gyökeres, and then I really like spending 20 quid or something in Turkey to fill out this. Definitely get a Guilherme for 60p. I don't think that will hurt you one bit. You've got great, and there's no classic pressure with this as well, which I said before. I just want to reiterate that, because there's great numbers, great head count, great quality of in-season everywhere. And the more options you've got, the less restrictions is probably the best way of putting it, you've got on your selection process, the better choices you'll make, the better teams you'll make. So by having as many, and I know it's like you've got 4 in-season and 1 classic. See, if you're playing 5 in-seasons, even better, because then it doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter who your classic is, or who's out of form, or who's suspended, or they played midweeks, or, you know, whatever's going on. If they're just all in season, you just never need to worry about that. Now, not everyone's got the budget to do that, depending on the quality of card we're looking at, etc. But as a general, like, having so many, like, you know, if you can get them in season, just get them, even if it's like an extra £2 you're paying. And I'm saying that as like, as if it's a big deal, but when the guy costs in season £3, his classic's probably like 60p a pound, isn't it? just get the in season. I mean, like it just means you're not going to be like, oh, he's classic and I played a classic defender and now I can't do the actual optimum 5. You know, you just want as little restrictions as possible. So yeah, look, and the chat, we kind of touched on a few different bits and pieces there. But yeah, I think those kind of signings, those kind of moves in here. If Gyökeres is out of budget, is maybe the only other thing I would maybe want to wrestle. Because he is like he's quite a premium card, isn't he? This is one of the changes I love to the Sorare UI, is like click in the region and then you can just deselect MLS. Like the ability to deselect MLS has been long, long overdue. It really has. Can we click on forward again? Yeah, I think we'll do that. Wow, look at that. Gyökeres in season's 112. So that kind of really does. Wow. Again, you don't have the pressure, so this is it's a bit of a shame that the gap isn't a bit more attractive, like from a financial point of view. But if you have classic cards, this is the sort of guy you just go fuck it and get an in season one. Then you get the collection bonus. If you even got 1 or 2 more cards, you can just get that 2% kicker. You know, for like having 3 cards in the one collection. As long as 1 or 2 of them are first owner, of course. But yeah, if Gyökeres isn't viable, oh please. Again, sometimes you don't always get your wow, Trincao at 40 quid. Cardi's down at 14. That feels very low. I think he's just maybe crapped out now, hasn't he? Is he trying to leave or something? That might be an opportunity buy, by the way. I'm not too sure what the script is with that. Please do your own research on that one. Dzeko for a 5er feels like quite L5 related. Oh, we got him. You get your Di Maria there. You've not got Di Maria. That feels like one you should have. It's a hard one to spend a lot of money on, but he's so old. But yeah, just as another kind of observation onto that. And I really like Denke for a tenner. Like, he's a bagsman. You know what I mean? If you just know he's playing bottom of the table, he's like a guy you could always go into team 3 and maybe once in a while can go into team 2 or 1 if you really are confident on the fixture and the form he's got. I just seen that harder guy there. I wonder what his actual form looks. Oh, where's Amorodon? I just seen him. 30 quid. A fraction of the price of Gyökeres, even for in season. He's not got the 90s and such that Gyökeres has, but see, as soon as he shows Gyökeres level scoring, guess what's going to happen? Dahlberg for £6. By the way, there is some. I don't know if Dahlberg's quite captain ready, like the kind of standards we're talking on here. I'm going to go back a page. So I want to see that harder guy, then we'll move on to the next review. Yeah, his scores aren't that great, are they? Danish 19-year-old. Scored 2 against Midtjylland for Nordisland. Want to watch out for, perhaps. Conrad harder. But yeah. That's all this team needs, is just a few captain punchers, you know. Liam King, fist bump, my man. Good to see you. Harry Trades, my man. Good to see you. Bob Flynn, fist bump. Malke Ministravalge. Wanted to ask you, Quinny, how do you handle just having one strong collection in one competition contender and one strong in another competition, La Liga? How do you build around them? So it's kind of a bit of a touch on what we maybe just mentioned. Nothing really linking them or sell one, right? So you have to, so I've maintained the example you've got, and I've also got rid of the example as well, in the sense of like mine's kind of crossover scarcities as well, which is a little bit different. But you need to be happy with the competitive strength of whatever the thing is, and if you're not, it's then about what is the gap that you need to bridge. How long will it take you to bridge that gap? Is it something you can do easily? Do you need to inject more money into it? Do you need to chop a part of the gallery off to shape it round? So for me, like I distinctly wanted to have segregated ones that didn't really bump off each other. And that's partly because like Celtic are in contenders and there's nothing I can do about that. But it depends. If you feel the one is like so far away from being competitive, then yeah, I would Aberdeen and Athletic Bilbao, if you're wondering. It's kind of similar to me with Celtic and like Girona or Celtic and Sociedad or whatever. Um, so the problem you've got with that is like one of them, like I've got Celtic being like multi-generational at this point. This is like the fourth rare collection I've got. So I've got a fair amount of multiples and stuff like that, which makes that looking after itself quite easy. Whereas with Aberdeen, I don't know if you're, or Bilbao for that matter, if you're going like that kind of generational way with them. So what I kind of think of it as is like more like if you've got those collections, it's then next year or the next season following. Like, could you have another collection that is in Spain that's not Athletic Bilbao, or do you go Bilbao again? So I don't. Like, I think the only way to kind of build around them, I'm just kind of thinking this out as I'm speaking to you, but like, is either going multi-generational on them and you just make sure they've always got, and it is then just like it is with me and Celtic and Girona. It's just a Girona play, it's a Celtic play. And they win, I win. Then if that's a strategy, cool. But if they're part of like a strategy like Lucas or just looking at where he's got like a really strong spine of two power clubs or one power club in your case, like the Aberdeen, especially with the form this year, or Bilbao, then you want to have around that non-Bilbao or Aberdeen players to kind of spice that up. And if you've got the ability to make them come into the gallery, like as a standalone card. And again, if you look at my Celtic stuff, like I got that Shaqiri just to help out. I got Teixeira in China to help out. I got Rakitic to help out. I got and I had other guys from other collections kind of help out as well, like Halstenberg at Leipzig and Ajeti in an old Celtic collection or whatever. So it depends on what your plan is season on season, I think, if you've got those types of collections. Wistamania, how do I sign up to my gallery review? There's a link in the live chat. There's also a join button just under the video. If you click on it, YouTube will show you how to get your FC BarcaLomond season ticket for the 24-25 season. It's £4 a month, £1 a week. We do the gallery reviews once a week, normally in the clubhouse, so you guys don't normally get to see this chat. We normally do it for members only viewing. In public, we always do a lineup builder ahead of the big weekend game weeks. We do that twice a week. There's also a Telegram group. Telegram's just like WhatsApp, and Discord had a baby, but it's way better. And yeah, anyway, click on the link. It's in the live chat or the join button just under the video you're watching now, and YouTube will explain to you how all to do it. It's the season ticket you're after, not the donations. The donation ones, there's no perks attached to them. It's just if you want to support the channel, but you don't care about gallery reviews and all that kind of stuff. Charlie Dunbar, man, fist bump, non-stick Lama, Monfrere, Mihai, Alexandru, Montenu. Screwed up the last name, didn't I? Montenu. If you were buying 4 Celtic cards for SO5, what would be the nail cards you would pick up, Monkey? I would go Alistair Johnson, Engels, Kuden, Dyson. Or, no. I'd go Alistair Johnson, Scales, Engels, Kuhn. Gunnock has a hamstring injury, only short term till late. So could be getting 3 or 4 games of the backup, including Europa. Nice. Gunnock was the Besiktas keeper, wasn't it? Yeah, Besiktas. So who's the backup? Uh-oh. Have we got him? Look, you better watch out. I hate it when backups take the first team job and you've got this situation, you get screwed out of it. What do you think would be a good defender to pair with my Bundesliga lineup? Fredeke, Stoger, Amiri, and then like good pick of forwards there. So I think if you're going quite eclectic like that, Isidore, Bundesliga defender. Let's just see what the top list is. Bundesliga. Like everyone's going to pick Grimaldo, right? But I think the problem, like when I look at that, like who else did you have there? Stoger, Amiri. Like these guys are quite reliable. Kramaric, Hoffenheim have midweeks this season. I think they might actually. Doan, Most of these guys don't play midweeks. They're quite consistent. I really like Schlotterbeck. Rom has just picked up an injury. So if you like Rom, he's going to get a little bit cheaper for a little bit because he's going to be out for a couple of weeks, I think. He's been sent home from German duty. Rasmus Christensen's been really good, but he's been not at it too long. I think they're the main options. I don't think anyone else comes into... You've got quite top tier guys, but they're budget top tier, like Amiris and Stogers and Kramaric. I really like Schlotterbeck. I really like getting Rom or Christensen kind of cheap if you're after somebody of that kind of ilk. Mittelstadt makes a lot of sense, but the price, maybe that puts you off, I don't know, compared to some of these other guys. Yeah, I think that's probably the overall ones I would look at. You still taking requests? Charlie Dunbar, I would be, my man. I sold Nico Williams, brought in Damsgaard and Ndai, looking for a similar level of player. The U23 forward. Yeah, let's do that, Charlie. Let's add you on. And then, yeah, better get through to the next one. What's the score? Oh, South Korea 1-0 up. I don't know if that's going to be good for me on Rivals or not. Uh-oh. It's not. It's Captain Kang versus Captain Huang. Huang's off. Come on. How have I got no Joga Benitos in this game? That can't be real. That can't be. There's no way that one of these guys hasn't beaten him. Do we just leave Huang? I think we do. I'm forfeiting 18 points there. Or make a sub. Is there anyone on the bench that... Is there anyone on the bench? Oh. I wonder who come on. Actually, can we see that? Eom. Do we take O off the bench? As long as it gets on off the bench, then I think... Right, we need to watch out. If O comes on, I'll play O. But there's no guarantee that he does come on, so we need to just watch out. Tactics have screwed me here. 7 points behind and he's got Tiki Taka against me. Need Captain Kang to save the day as well. Let's watch out for that. Right, Alex Coombs, what were we after? Alex Coombs, afternoon. Can you have a look at my Prem setup? Feel like I may be missing that one player to take me to the next level. No problem. Is there any specificity on this? Are we looking in season or classic? Yeah, it's going to be in season, isn't it? So again, kind of similar to what I was mentioning in terms of that classic pressure. There's not really any of that here. A lot of goalkeepers, a lot of backups, handcuff situations, which is cool. Classic Pickford. Nice, yeah. So four keepers here. 3 in season, 1 classic. And let's go best to worst. Ben Davis rakes up the top here, but we've got Trent, we've got Gab Mag, JP Fiech, Pedro Porro, Guy and Stones are fine as well. Yeah, there's lots of good guys here. In season and classic. Lots of good options. Oh, who's that at the very bottom? Bottom. Nice wee sleeper card right at the bottom. In midfield, double Kovacic. We've got Madison. Some nice classics. Some nice in-seasons there. I love that Bruno. It's a great card to have in-season. Some decent guys like Perea, Sar, Bentancur's okay this season. We're on Gray. So I think midfield is probably where you're feeling that. Madison, Kovacic could, be walking into Rodri shoes, so... But you're only really looking at if you're going against 3 teams, you've got single mid in all of them with this build, I think, unless you're bringing a classic midfielder into the equation. So that means we need to be playing in-season defence, which then really kind of limits your Trent all of a sudden, doesn't it? And then who do we have up front? Son, Gordon, Cho, Kulu. See, so I think... What's the price difference between classic and in-season Trent? Hmm. Because if you have in-season Trent, you get him for Team 1. Rico Lewis and Gab Mag can fight it out for Team 2, I suppose, alongside the likes of Poro, Diaz, Van de Ven, Anthony Robinson. Like, the Team 2 and Team 3 options are great. If you have Trent for Team 1, that means then you can go double mid, you can play a classic mid with a in-season mid, and then the last team will feel like the last team at that stage, midfield-wise. And up front, you could have a classic forward. Which do we have? Standout? Maybe Luis Diaz if he's on form. Callum Hudson-Odoi's been doing it. So if we had a double mid in season, we had a Trent in season, we could go classic forward. So a classic boss forward. If we could get Trent into being in season, a classic forward, and then team 2, we would need an in season forward. You've got Son, and then team 3, we would need an in season forward. You've got like Gordon, Kulusevski, Brennan, Madueke. These guys are all really good. Team 2, yeah, so a wee bit similar to maybe the Gyökeres play that we just seen, but I think if you could turn Trent from classic to in-season, you take a lot of pressure off your midfield. The midfield still needs a guy in it, I think, and then a classic forward. So if we look at Prem, did you give me a budget or anything, or a kind of mission statement, as it were? Missing that one player. So yeah, that then makes it a bit easier, I think, to go into the market and get. Like, Son's probably a Team 1 striker, isn't he? Maybe the injury thing is just kind of maybe poisoning my opinion right now. Is he in this team? No, he's not. I suppose he is a Team 1 level guy, isn't he? And you've got classic Trent. But then Team 2. Yeah, maybe. Then Team 2, we're talking about these other guys kind of fighting out for there. Then they're with an in-season mid and a classic mid. And then Gordon, Kulusevski. This is a bit of a puzzle, isn't it? And then Team 3, you've got quality defence to rotate with. It might be the midfield. It kind of might be what we're kind of circling around, like Morgan Gibbs White classic alongside it. Yeah. Rice classic as well. It's kind of hard. I kind of. This is a hard one to put my finger on. It's quite finely balanced. Like, you could even just stick with the Trent classic. It wouldn't. You can make it work. Josco. Is there ever a better time to buy De Bruyne when he's injured? You put De Bruyne into that, a lot of problems go away when he's fit. Sancho. Not playing midweeks. You've got Madueke, Odegaard as well, injured. It's hard to put my finger on, mate, who, like, I kind of get where you're coming from. Palmer is, like, if you're buying one card, like, Palmer is that guy, isn't he? Not playing midweeks either, just weekends only. So if you have that level of budget, just buy Palmer. But if you don't, like, Sancho at 24, I think helps you a lot. I think De Bruyne at 54 helps a lot. And I think Guardiola's up there for defender of the season. Look at that since game week 1. That's just this season. Everything on screen there. 3 times under 60. 100. over 70 half a dozen times. 1, 3, 5, 6, 7, 9. He's almost playing every game week as well. Almost. Guy does not stop. So yeah, it's kind of, because it's Prem as well, it's quite a limited pool, and I just think like he's only that cheap because he's injured. Like, because as soon as he comes back and starts doing De Bruyne things, like, this is the last time he came back from injury. You need to wait for this one to come through, but De Bruyne's fine coming back from injury. He doesn't have a problem with it. He's done it enough times. Let's see what the chat's saying. No ROM, so probably not the best idea. Thanks again. Oh, thank you. Well, look at Rom and Rasmus. I like Schlotterbeck very much, and he's dropped a bit, but he might be a bit too much. I suppose Mick will start Rose because he's playing international now. Yeah, with no Rom, so probably not the best idea. Yeah, I'm with you, Easy-Door. Depends on, yeah, the angle. I like Rasmus. Yeah, Rom's a good look. He takes set pieces and stuff. Quite an attacking left back at the best of times. Adam Holzik, under 23 forward. I think he's a nailed starter this season for Hoffenheim also in the Europa League. A decent one. Main focus is in season. Alex Coombs, yeah, awesome. Good news, picked up Scales and Kuhn already. After that, Johnson and Engels next. Nice. Can you help me out? I don't know camera name. I actually need to get through another request or two before I can add one onto the list. Just because I'm going to be doing another. I'm on someone else's show at 6 o'clock-ish, so I just need to make sure we get time to turn around for that. He should be fit for the next City game, but he might make a big money move. Nah, De Bruyne is not going. For me, De Bruyne doesn't go to the Middle East. Like, I just don't see it. I could see him going to America, no bother. I could see him going back to Belgium or going to Italy or something like that. I don't think De Bruyne goes to. I just don't see it. He's been making mad money the whole time he's been at City. Like, I don't see it. So Cameron, I'll have you on. Pending. And Alex, yeah, I think I would just try and maybe. Because again, you've got a strong build there, so it's not like, oh, you're obviously missing, like the classic in season thing. You do have a combination there to strike, which is a hindrance versus what we're talking about on the last gallery, which is probably part of the reason that's at the front of my mind right now. So like an in-season De Bruyne, or an Odegaard, depending on your cup. Some of these injury discounts might be the thing that helps you move up in terms of the level of the first team squad. Or I say if budget's not really an issue, just get Palmer. Ian, what were we after, my man? Not a review as such. Do I have enough for 3 in-season contender and classic at a decent level? 3 in-season contender and classic. Contender in-season. So we're looking at Mitov, Oxborough. I know it's Aberdeen Celtic, right? But we'll ignore that. Aberdeen have been good. Mitov's been good. Okay, classic Muhim. In-season McGrath. Not too sure what to think. I seen you had in-season Garari in there. Duke's back. Sockler has been playing. But it's probably Marley Watkins you're taking more often than not. I'm not sure if there's going to be 3 in-season here, mate. Unless it's rare. Am I tripping? Is it rare? No, it's limited, isn't it? And an extra. We need in-season because we went with classic Muhim. I say Gararian, but I don't know how long their division has left to run. We tried, guys. Love that squad name. Yanghan Bean, Oxborough, Brune. Let's go Oxborough. Zimmerman. Shinny is killing it. Then probably go classic forward. Let's just say Lavaya. I'm not sure there's going to be 3 in-season teams here, mate. Polvara. I guess it between... Oh, you've got Frank... yeah, we go. I thought there must be somebody else about here. Clarkson. Put him in. I think my forwards have to be classic. Just got some for the MLS ticket coins. Joe Ducey, fist bump, my man. Good fingers crossed for you. Yes, we're looking at classic forwards across the way. So Brun. So who's your other in-season defence? Oh, I did see Kent actually. Devlin, Gordon, Rubizic, Takahashi, Milne, Aris. Yes, let's go with Kent. I think in-season mid is going to be letting you down if we need classic forward. Ibarra works, I think, doesn't he? Nilsson. Is he one of the guys that's doing well? Let's just put Martinez. I'm just putting these in. If you're telling me it's classic, I'm just clicking the top one. So you've got quite a few there. And then our best in-season card. Thereafter, we're looking at Polvara, Ibarra, Kent, Taken, Devlin, Gordon. This Nielsen guy, that's who I want to see. What's he all about? He's okay. I guess it's decisive, he's cooking, but doesn't look like that kind of guy. Takahashi. Antipalaversa, how's he been doing? I think he got an assist at the weekend, actually, didn't he? He did. I got a goal, in fact. Antipalaversa, one of my... It wasn't one of my first cards, but definitely one of the cards I really bought for the long hold. And we've got O'Hara. And put that in for safety. Okay, so we get 3 in-seasons here, and then how does the classics kind of click out? Let's say Smolich, AJ, Dongier. Let's go Wanizek, Inigo, and Julian Green. Classic number 2. We are looking at, let's say, Iskandel, Formosa Mendy. I like the Sangare Gate and Baterina quite a lot. And then Cordoba, let's say. And then the final one, we'd be looking at something like... Heidel, let's say. They've actually got a lot of goalkeeper choices. I'm sure some of these will be U23s and stuff like that. Baumgartner, CCV. This Zetner guy is ripping. Let's just put him in. Dongier. There's a McGrath there. Goiter Hein. There's a lot of forward picks here. You could probably go double forward. But just as a... I think let's just say McGrath. So, what do I think? What was the question? If I now have enough for 3 in-season and 3 classic at a decent level. Now, I've maybe not done the in-season the most justice with the builds. I've kind of got Aberdeen guys scattered all across it, and some of the Mexican guys are kind of scattered across it and whatever, which is fine. But generally, like, Aberdeen are performing so well at the moment. Domestically, like, you've really got to hope they keep that up. And if they do, like, there's obviously a really good team there to have a spine with, and you're using some sort of classic kicker, probably a forward, like you mentioned. And that will do really well in a lot of divisions. But then beyond that, like, it's a bit hodgepodgey, so it's quite hard to get a gauge on how good, like, Frankie Kent in defence will be with O'Hara in front of Oxborough in goals, you know, next to the leftovers of Aberdeen and a classic forward. It could do okay, I suppose. And then Team 3, once Mexico goes away, it's not really there, is it? So I think where you're at the moment, you probably don't actually need to buy much more, if any, in-season cards, Ian, because you should be scooping boxes up like mad. And now that you're in this position, Like, wait till you get to a decent target. Maybe try and get to 250 before you pull the plug. Or over 100 at least anyway. Because now what makes the in-season stuff better is like is building on Team 1. Like, make Team 1 better so that we don't need Watkins here or whoever. And then that improvement is kind of just the last thing it's needed. It's just a wee push on to Team 1 getting a bit better, because all these guys are good enough. It's just, well, the question is, like, decent level. Decent levels, yes, for Team 1s, and I think Team 2s will be fine. But your Team 3s, like Classic, I'm not worried about, but Team 3 for in-season is maybe still where you'll feel it's a bit thin. So I think if you make Team 1 a little bit better with maybe just replace the need for the Mexican guys, essentially, I think that will fix itself out. But yeah, Classic, you're cooking. No way, no two ways. You could play 6 teams in Classic. You'd do well. Cameron M, I did, buddy. I'm not too sure if I'll be able to squeeze it in. Will this continue with the scouting live stream? So the scouting live stream are more going to build a squad. If we had, imagine we had 0, and we're going to research some stuff and go through it and actually build a roster. Lewis West, I've got Cameron on standby as well. We're going to be on for about another hour and 15, hour and 20, something like that. I'm getting cards and boxes every week in Classic, so just put that in-season build together for like 40 quid. But I think a box grinding pools, it could be okay. Yeah, I agree. I think, yeah, you just try and get your essence up now. Like, if you've got this kind of roster, like tier 4, 5, 3, even 2, don't really improve your situation here. You need tier 1 plus guys now coming in. So with your essence, I would just, especially if the volume is coming, I would just be stashing it for about a month and see how far you get. I think you'll probably get quite far. XD Rye? What were we after? A gallery review. Yeah, I was only 20 cards here, should be easy enough. That's fine, no problemo. So, I guess it's all champion. You know, we've got Usui here. So let's have a look. It's all limited. So in goals, we've got Rono and Flecken. That's cool. League 1 Wes, and then a random J-League guy as a reward. Mainly Classic. Yeah, this gallery rings a bell. Botman, I think you've probably got Botman in, yeah, newest to oldest a bit more recently. That's a good injury pickup, I like that. Grifo, yeah, I've seen this midfield, very thin. Yeah, I remember all this. We had the Kane. We've got Lukaku in. That's also a new one. So Lukaku comes in now. We've got an extra bolster in attack. So yeah, we've got 2 teams. We're using a classic Gab Mag, an in-season Anton, in-season Grifo, classic Party, striker, or... So let's have a look. Let's just do a wee build just to see how it actually fleshes out. Champ in-season, Team A. Classic keepers. So let's see, we take Rono. Anton did good against us, of course, but how good is he doing? He's okay, isn't he? Yeah. Not quite ready for in-season, I don't think. Well, maybe the outfield smashes like Grifo, and if you go Kane, Lukaku, like you could probably just about do that. And then classic, got Flecken, and go Gabmag and Lewis. Got Party, who's now injured, it looks like. And then not good games for your strikers. But your non-good strikers are definitely where it's lacking. What's this Party say? Muscle injury, yeah. So you definitely need another midfielder in here at this stage. There's no getting away from it. And I think I think it needs to be an in-season midfielder because ideally you want to use a classic defender. Yeah, these guys aren't in region. They're rewards you've picked up as well. Yeah, you need an in-season mid because you want to be using a classic defender. I suppose Team 2 isn't in season anyway. And what were we using? Grifo, Kane, Lukaku. It was a classic keeper, is what we had, wasn't it? So I think Anton will hold it back a bit. And you do need another midfielder, mate. No two ways about it. Don't know what the budget is, but where were we? Sorry. What's this guy? 36p, 90p, so like £1.20. Anyone else up here that's fodder? Bertrand Diaz, I'd probably throw him into that. So you've got like a couple of, like £1.50 or something out of those guys. So if you could take them and trade them, but let's have a look. We need an armid. Depends what the budget is again as well, doesn't it? Again, I'll tell you what we'll do. Let's take the in-season filter off. And let's drop the budget right down to that. Classic Højbjerg, 14 quid. Classic Isco, 3 quid. Stoger for 11. Amiri for 8. Let me think. Yeah, we had Premier League, Germany. Lukaku's also in Italy. We're kind of all over Champ Euro in general. But there's somebody right good right at the... Oh, where's Teji at? £6? That's not bad for Teji, by the way. For another midfielder to plug in. Lo Celso at 14. Very, very appealing. No midweek football. Also, he's got internationals. Højbjerg's very appealing. Isco at £3 I'd find very appealing. And then there was somebody else I wanted to drill into here. Teji, £6. No bots. Pascal Gross, £7. Alex Baena, 12. Amiri. Let's drill into Amiri quickly. Any bots? Santonio. I sent him an offer. If you're trash and see how much money he's got to, and see how much he wants on top, just get Amiri in and trade away your... If you sent him an offer with... You could probably get the Waldemar in. It probably wouldn't be any worse off for it. Maybe the Abdel Akbar, Yuri, these two guys that are out with region, and like Bertrand Diaz or something, and then seeing like how much he's afterwards. Throw this guy in as well. Like I would just try and turn all that fodder into like an Amiri. What's the defence again? Yeah, a wee bit of England as well. I'll try and do that kind of thing. Amiri's maybe a wee bit, if you couldn't do it just with the fodder that's there, but you could do it probably for somebody like Isco, who is on his way back from injury. Is like nigh, isn't it? Santonio's got one again as well, so you could probably just trade an Isco straight in. Again, you're waiting on that to come, but again, those players you're trading away that I've just itemised there, they're not playing for you at the moment anyway, so you're not losing anything by rolling them out. You're just trying to get more purchase on the card power that you have, as it were, you know. One card like that can actually help you rather than 4 cards that won't. Roman de Castillo. Sergio Gomez even. And if you've got a couple of quid to spend, like there's plenty of good guys here. Like Højbjerg for 15 quid, I would just buy that if you've got the money for it. Brandt at £12, the same. Like if that's the sort, if you've got a budget for a guy like that, they're both fantastic options at Classic for you. But to make them even better for you, it then means getting a better in-season defender. And then what you can do, because Anton I don't think is great for Team 1, because he's limited a bit, isn't he? Like, he just doesn't seem to get decisives either. 8A is 10 to 14. Done good on 8A this occasion. Last season at Stuttgart, but the 8A just got way higher. Why was that? 8 effective clearances. He's got a double-double off the duels and all that. Clean sheet bonus will be there as well. Oh, but this one, a 2-1 loss. How did he do? 3 effective clearances. 100 accurate passes. Maybe that form will come back. 3-0, 2-2, 1-0. Ideally, I'd like to see one where there's not a clean sheet attached to it. $39. Right, well, we can ignore the clean sheet 10 for that. Double-double. 3 tackles. A lot of long passes and progressive passing from him. Suppose he's got the minerals, hasn't he? I just don't think he's showing the form where you could be like getting right behind him since he's been at Dortmund. Like, it's fine, isn't it? But it's... You've got that next to... Because you need a classic keeper, of course. Yeah, forget... Yeah, I'm just get a classic mid in. I think you're in season, you need to... I think, like, Lukaku, Kane are fantastic forward shouts. Ideally, you want them in a team each, but Lukaku's going to do this. And Kane's going to do that as well. It's a great double forward situation. They can both do this to you, but as well. Look at that. I think ideally you want these in a team each, but it's probably how you've bought them, or why you've bought the second one, or you got it as a reward as well. Wow, check you out, mate. What's it in the chat? Sorry. Isco is knackered, apparently. Oh, okay. Ignored the Isco shout. Korea sub. Oh, when did it happen? Bugger. Oh, no! No! Did he do a sub? Can I do a sub? Can I put on O? Please let me put on O. No! He was there for a split second. Ah! Am I still losing? Oh, I should have done O. Should have done O. If I got O in a team, I'm pretty sure I'd deprioritised them last minute. Yeah, I did. Ah, I didn't even play him. Is he in training? Ah. What are you doing, Quinny? What are you doing? I knew he was going to do that. Come on, son. Get your finger out. 40 points against the mighty Jordan. Yeah, so I think midfield is 100% what you need. You can go classic, and it's maybe an in-season keeper is actually what you need next. So an in-season keeper then allows you to play a classic defender for Team 1. So an in-season keeper and a classic mid. And we're fine. I'm looking at suggestions for champ in the 20 to... I should have probably seen that, sorry, Rye. $20 to $30 range. Yeah, well, get... Højbjerg for 14. That's pounds, not dollars. So that's probably like $20, isn't it? Probably should fill out the midfield, yeah. And then there was somebody pretty decent, wasn't there, for like Amiri maybe? Amiri was like £9. So if you can get like Amiri and Højbjerg, I think they would work out quite well. Want an in-season peck that I can pair with a classic Puig. Have some market credits already considering buying into in-season, even though there's only a couple of games. No, don't do that, Joe Ducey. Don't not do that. In-season peck's cool, mate, but just keep it. Just accept it as the reward that it is. Sell it or hold it. It doesn't need to be a thing. You know what I mean? Like, let it go. It's a good standalone card. Is what I would say. Darren Orrell, fist bump, my man. Good to see you. Dante Polivara and Ante Palaversa will the Dons midfield before the season. Commentator's nightmare. Indeed it is. Indeed it is. But yeah, that's the way to go for sure. Get a Højbjerg and get an Amiri. And then we have Charlie. Now we've actually got a fair amount of time, guys. I'll actually be here for another little bit. So we had Cameron M. Can I join, buddy? Cameron M. And Lewis West. Now, Lewis, actually, you were in earlier, in fact, as well, weren't you? So, yeah. It's no boss. Lewis. Road to Gammon, that's you, isn't it? Let me know if you're still here. Charlie Dunbar. What was Charlie, my man, after? I sold Nico Williams, brought in Damsgaard and Ndiaye, looking for a similar level of player, but a U23 forward. Budget around 20 to 40. So we're looking at rares. Under 23 forward. $20 to $40. Get Palmer, man. Okay, doke. So we need a guy that's... Oh, by the way, he's maybe the guy to get. Oh, he just gets sent off. So that's good. Maybe he'll get a bit cheaper in the next couple of days, next week or so. He could be the guy. I know he's a wee bit beyond the 20 to 40 mark, but that could work out really well. Under 23 forwards. It's quite a difficult play. Karamoko would be great, but you're probably not going to quite get him into that price range. Championship fixture. Oh, you maybe could, by the way. I'll try and get a Karamoko. Playing every week. 8A is there. 10 to 15, even without the decisive. You're just hoping he does the business. I like Karamoko. I'm obviously very biased there, but he fits the budget. Championship calendar is always fun to be a part of. I think Yemi's mad cheap. I suppose it's classic. He's probably got a bit cheaper before before no time at all. Denki. Denki feels like a bit of you as well, Charlie. I looked at Conceição a few weeks ago just before he came back, and then he doubled in price. I've got Karamoko. Oh, brilliant, mate. Brilliant. I actually think I knew that without remembering it. Denki, but feels like a big bit of you. Matanovic, the kind of unsung hero at Frankfurt. He's getting games, getting decisives. Doku? That's 60, but actually it's a wee bit beyond, isn't it? Madueke is not far out that budget, by the way. Direct offers, obviously. I would maybe try somebody like Madueke. Minty. Maybe a wee bit level below where. Oh, Brennan. Cheap man's Haaland. Oh, you still got Denke? Yeah. Negley, I've heard people mention his name before, but it's not one I'm too up on. 123 forwards is quite slim pickings, isn't it? Oh, Mio Coco could be good. Still to get up and running. Look at that. You've got the potential. Mio Coco could work. 30 quid. Nice wonder kid prospect. In France, you've got to think he does well when he gets his feet under the table there. Balogun. He's still at Monaco, isn't he? Yeah. I like Balogun. He's very 60-ish, but isn't he? It's a bit deflating. Just sold Nico. Yeah, there he is. Cali Muendo plays all the time. Is really cheap. Ren don't have midweeks. You got Ndoye, I'm pretty sure you mentioned. Martinelli at 40 quid. And it feels like he's kind of predictably playing at the moment. It is kind of shockingly bad, actually, isn't it? 12. 2 decisives. That's actually quite surprisingly bad. Oh, Alberto Moliero. I'm a big fan of this one. He's catching fire right now. I know he's at a bad team and stuff like that, but he's super cheap. Really big fan of him. £23. That could work out really well. You maybe have one already, based on the form that we've had so far in your request, Charlie. I like Paulinho, but he's not been playing. Dinky. To go with Dinky. How do I jump on to the gallery reviews? Big man, just make it. Just let me know what you're after. We've got just about an hour left after Charlie. We've got Cameron M and Lewis locked and loaded, so we could probably, can't guarantee you make it, but if we do you, it's probably going to be the last one. Oh, Morgan Rogers. Imagine. That's not bad, by the way, considering he doesn't have cards that are classic. I suppose it's more IRL hype around him, isn't it, than SO5 hype. Dagham. That's a nice rookie, isn't it? A Salzburg rookie that's playing for under 23. It doesn't feel like a bad move at all, does it? Moliero. Yeah, I'm glad you like that one. He is on fire. Like now, he's undeniably good. He's the main guy for him. I think he takes a lot of sets as well, and he's right in that budget. He's right in the sweet spot. He's a proper wonder kid. He's a guy that you don't want him to stay at Las Palmas. You want to see him go on to Benfica or somewhere cool. I really like this Massawi guy, but this guy is really good. But SO5 wise, he's maybe not somebody to jump out and go and get right away. But he is a very good football player. I like Rutter at £26. He's not been, wow, negative and positive decisive 2 games in a row. Jesus. Oh, poor you. Poor you. Man, Rutter holders. Gutted, man. I love a bit of Cho. Cho's been great for me. He's back in the team now. Say great for me. Just kind of up and down. Tell's quite expensive. Satriano. If you've got the change left over, Charlie, you know I like this guy. He's not really going to the back. Oh, he's got a wee bit of backup. A wee bit of backup, but not much. He's injured at the moment as well, actually, so ignore that. And then last page, and then we'll jump onto the next one. Oh, this wee guy for a £5. I wouldn't turn that down, by the way. Not really seen him do anything in England, but for a wee guy like this for a £5, you actually want Wolves to kick him out in January or something. You know what I mean? Just in case there's anyone else decent that we've not seen yet. I'm just more curious than anything. Holzik, somebody mentioned before. Very, very good shout. I think you get a wee bit more out of Moliero than Holzik, personally. Asnar Canal, very big fan of, but the forward card just stinks a bit, doesn't it? I don't know if he'd be better as a mid, but he plays like right wing back, which for Frankfurt's kind of like right forward. Isaacson's a forward, that's interesting. He's featuring consistently, I don't think he's starting often enough, but... Or, actually, we get... Yeah, that all starts. Sub against Serbia, sub against somebody crap with no badge. AA is not really there in Italy for him, is it? Abada, I'm sure you've got him already. Yeah, I think that's probably the size of it. Liam Delap, 90 quid. Ouch. But yeah, I think we agree on Moliero. Come on, Kang. Come on, Kang. You can't let O show you up, man. O coming off the bench to bag a goal. Kang doing nothing. Right, Cameron, what were we after? Cameron. Can you help me out with mine? I need to make some adjustment now MLS is gone. I've got £10 plus £13 from my Barca sale and around £50 in-season challenger only. So what have you got a position there for me? Need to make some adjustments. Got 10, 13 plus around 50. In-season challenger only. Challenger. Are you selling Barcas? Yeah, it must be. So MLS is going. Yeah, so let's take MLS out of the equation here. Eredivisie, Belgium, Turkey, Portugal, Danishman, Championship. So let's see, we're selling Barcas and we've got Kusmans and Mignolet. We've then got got a defence here for two keepers, no problem at all. And then in mid is where we need a real swinger and an attack. So I think we need a mid and a forward. So let's look at forward. European challenger. Do I care if they're in season or not? You've got a lot of in season already. Do we maybe? I think the mid. There's no problem with the defense being in season. There's not really much of a problem with the majority of the in season mid. You could maybe get a classic forward to save on a couple of quid. You've gave me your budget, so that might help us a little bit. We're selling Barcas for 13, so we're going to have the thick end of like 75 quid. Trincao at 40 feels appealing. Tadic at a £5. He's on form. Like Jose loves Tadic. Get Tadic. Classic for a £5. That should be an easy... Oh, Negren is playing? For Nordisland? Oh, this wee guy, by the way, Ben Negren. Oh, we've been waiting for this to happen for, it feels like eternity. Ben Negren is playing. A tenner. Don't mind that either. I really like Bruma. He is a nailed-on starter for them. How old is he actually? Do we have that on this page? His actual age? 26 on that card, which is like 3. Yeah, so he's still like really good age. Really, so I think like if you've got this sort of budget you've just told me there, yeah, I find it really hard to not get somebody like Bruma for £4. Tadic for a £5. And I would maybe get Ben again for a tenner, but that's just me, right? But even if we just think Bruma for £4, Portuguese calendar, Braga, the 4th best team in the country, very good at home, quite formidable at home, in fact. He's been there for ages. Double decisive capable, 80 plus capable. You then get something very similar with Tadic, with the Turkish calendar, which is really good. And then if we slice into midfield, oh no, so classic forwards, like is what we're after, but then we're after an in-season mid to keep the in-season presence that we've got in all these other positions. Let me check. What's your classics like at the moment anyway? Luke de Jong, Vanaken. We need an in-season mid anyway, so the classic mids don't mean anything. But I'm just seeing if there's maybe a classic player you're planning on using in a different position. Yeah, I don't think you need to, which is fine. So I would get classic forward reinforcement. I would get those two guys in for under a tenner. I think is wildly good value for the build you've got here. And I know he's not playing at the moment, but you could get Potty in season for that. For what's left over. Malik Tillman at under 40. Laird's guy, Haspalat, is only £4. Laird loves this guy. And he's not bad. I'd get him for £4. I would just throw him in the basket. Tadic in season is £9. I suppose it's a mid, isn't it? Maybe take a Tadic mid and a forward. Yari V is on it. I don't know if Yari's top shelf, but because as soon as Yari does this, you know what's right around the corner, don't you? He loves a 90. He loves a real big candlestick score, doesn't he? Oh, Yari, what a guy, man. Veerman currently injured. That's a wee bit over the budget he gave us, but even guys like Cockchew, by the way, they're now in season. That's a very good card to get for that price. So yeah, I would get those classic forwards for buttons. I'd consider even the Tadic midfielder for £9. And even Malik, if you wanted to spend on a premium guy, but I don't think you need to. I think there's actually a lot of bargains in this region if you can shop around and then be quite agile with your team selection. Like not just being dogmatic. Like look at in-season special edition Sara, £20. Let's see what the other ones cost. Classic, we want in-season. We only want in-season for Sara. Special edition's the cheapest one. It's wild, isn't it? That guy wants to sell. That guy will sell. If you send him a direct offer, he will accept it. That's a lovely card. I would get that. Gabriel Sara. No bother at all. Gel Mario in season for £6. He's not quite arrived in Turkey yet, but like he kind of has as well. He's not had that dominant L5 run, L10 run yet. Harry's guy's £1. Now I know he's bombed out at the moment or injured or something, but you know it's like in these clubs, they'll have their time, they'll come back. Ito, under £2, not doing too shabby, by the way. Honestly, for the budget you've got, you could really get a lot of good guys. Gandalin, we mentioned him before. I know he's a bit of a favourite on this channel. He's doing no bad either. He's doing his bit now. Korea just made a couple more subs. Quick. Can I make you sub? Oh no, wrong button. Oh, I'm 40 points behind. Did he make a sub? No, he didn't. How am I so far behind? Oh, it's Tiki. There's no chance in a month of Sundays that Kang didn't make one dribble, Huang didn't make one dribble, and this guy, like, there's no chance in a month of Sundays. This guy's beat me purely on tactics, which we know can happen, right? But I've been shafted here. Tell me I'm not. I thought Kang can get 2 or 3, Huang can get 1 or 2, he can get 1 or 2. That'll rake in. There's no chance that they've not even... This guy's not even got that button on his laptop at the game, has he? Got... Throwing the towel in on that one, guys. So yeah, classic forwards. You've got pick of the litter, really, and then your midfield in season. Like you can actually, it's actually quite thin here, isn't it? But with the budget you've got there, do you need to sell Barkas? Is also something I would throw at you at this point, because you do have 3 keepers. Why go to 2? I get obviously trying to get some more power in, but you're only saving yourself, or you're gaining 13 quid on your budget. I think we demonstrated there you don't actually need a 40, £50 player. So maybe can you hold Barkas? Is what I would think right now. Right, and then just make it. I can add you in after Lewis. Right, so let's see, Lewis, what were you after? Yeah, I should have. I should have put. You're right, Mihai, Mihai, Alexandru, Mihai Alexandru. He has one contest one. No way. How does O get a contest one? And all these other guys haven't. Oh, we've got 2 requests left on the board. Just make it. And I was going to say Alex, but it's not Alex. It's Lewis, isn't it? But I've not actually got your request in the live chat. So what I'm going to do now, guys, is I'm actually just going to take a pause for the cause. I'm going to be live for another 40, 45 minutes. We've got our last 2 requests to do here. If you're still here, Road to Gaming, Road to Gammon, Lewis, just make it. Drop into the live chat what you want us to go through. I'll be back in a momentum. I'm just going to get a wee refreshment break. So I've been here for like 2 hours. Just need to go to the loo and whatnot. But I'll be back in 2. Scene can get subbed off as well. It's an absolute gutter. But I'll be back in 2 minutes. Get the last requests in. Or maybe if somebody else drops a request in and these guys aren't here, maybe we'll do somebody else's. But we're live for another 40 minutes or so. Just BRB. Bearing with us. Well, we've got no one. We've got no bites. No Mike. No Lewis. Well, I'm happy to sit here and chill with you guys anyway. See if they come up. I've got something to go for in like half an hour, 40 minutes. So, yeah, I'll happily sit and, yeah, just shoot the breeze with these guys. Normally the member stream now, by the end of it, we like to have a wee wind down at the end of it anyway. So, quite a lot of good strategy stuff there. I think like part of the thing that does come up when we do these quite a lot is like I mentioned in the kind of prelude section to this, when I was just kind of riffing with my own stuff, is that you do need guys that, you do need to think of it as like you're building 3 teams to be 1 entry eventually, you know, like in terms of the quality of guys. So you'd have probably noticed for a lot of you guys that are sitting watching this maybe for the first time or whatever, but like when we're going into the market, like especially like in this position I'm in, like in terms of recommending guys and all the rest of it, it's a good way to kind of think of it. Like what I used to do when I started content, it wasn't really too much about advice and all the rest of it. Or it would be kind of like, these are lessons I've learned and maybe you can learn them as well. Or these are little tricks in the game that have helped me, maybe they'll help you. And I highly recommend actually for everyone that's here. Can I go and find the video? I'll just put it on screen. But it's like a starting tips video. It's actually called Zero to Hero. I should probably change the name of it because we've got an actual Zero to Hero series now, which I'll record later on. Actually, the latest ones, we've probably got some boxes and stuff to crack open. But it's like a starting tips video, and I highly, highly recommend it. Let me see. So we're going back actually a fair bit since it's been out. I might change the name of it now so it's easier to find. Where is it? I released some videos actually I was really happy with that are probably buried now, but like the Champions League, the Europa Conference League, got the special weeklies on Sorare. I did like stack builds for them that are on the channel. I did them in August. So you need to scroll back a little bit. And yeah, this is at the very end of July, this one. So this is the thumbnail for it. I'll just keep the title the way it is now, but go from Zero to Hero, Sorare starting tips, and then this is the thumbnail. And trust me, like if you're kind of newish and you've not seen this video, you will really like it. I'll keep the title the way it is. You guys should be able to find it easy enough there. Starting tips. Go from Zero to Hero. And but initially it was more about accountability for me, in terms of like, I feel that left to my own devices, I'll make stupid decisions. But if I'm telling people like this is what I'm going to do, or I think this is the best way to do it, and this is what I'm, if I then hold myself accountable in that respect, like it's part of the reason that my gallery doesn't chop and change too much, because I'm trying to make myself accountable to the strategies I hold and what I think is going to be the most enjoyable. And I'm always after that hybrid of enjoyability and like ROI success, if you know what I mean. I'm always looking for that middle ground in between the two. It's not whole totalitarian, has to be about the budget, has to be about the success, has to be about the money. And I'm not all the way on the other end as well, where I couldn't give a fuck and I'm just building stuff for fun and let's get jersey numbers because they're cool. Yeah, there's been a bit of that, but as I say, because I'm trying to always be in that halfway house of enjoying the game for the game and playing the game to beat the game, And like when I'm doing that and trying to get to that 3 entries being, or for those 3 lineups being like as good as like one top end entry, I like doing it. Now I understand it's not as high volume, like transactions, trades, strategy, maneuvers, compared to some other channels and just some other galleries, or most galleries in general. It can be a little bit dull for me, because I'm just always kind of looking at the same stuff and all the rest of it. But I think like accountability, whether it's to yourself or even the live chat or something like the group chat and Telegram, accountability just helps you, I think, make slightly better decisions, because that way when you're about to do something, if you've got a mate that you're accountable with, that you kind of respect their opinion, or you don't like it when they make fun of you or something, if you've got a person like that in your life, when you're about to do something that's questionable, you think about what will they say, what will happen when I tell Bobby or whatever I've done this. And sometimes you can kind of problem solve your own stuff in a roundabout way, where like, oh, he'll probably tell me that's stupid, or I should have read into it more, or I should have did this, or whatever it could be. I don't know, I should have checked the company out before taking the job, or I don't know, whatever. And And I used to do that in like my first kind of sales job, where like I'm always like a really keen learner. I'm always like really happy to be taught things. Like I've not got any ego or any airs of graces around me in that regard. Like I'm always happy to be taught things. And I remember when I first started doing like a sales job, I knew nothing obviously, and you're learning all the time. And I used to get so embarrassed. I wouldn't say embarrassed, but like my pride would hurt if I'd have like a bad shift, a bad day, and then at the end of the day they'd have to what you'd call break your day down. So what worked well, what didn't, and have to do it. And I used to hate getting my day broken down. And you'd get to like towards the end of the day, and I would just break my day down there. I would just think I'm going to be sitting with them, and I'm going to tell them this and that, and they're going to say to me, "You should have done A, B, and C," and then I would just at that moment do A, B, and C so that I could say to them, "Don't give me that for advice. I did it." And the amount of times it would actually just work out in my benefit, like I would do more sales, I'd finish the shift better, I'd hit a target, or help somebody out that was training or something like that. It was unreal. So like that's just a kind of reflex I've kind of got in life now, where I'm quite happy. I can like simulate in my mind getting advice from someone if like I've had advice from them a few times, or whatever. If you can't, sometimes you can't do that, and you need to actually reach out to people and say, "Hey, what's your thoughts?" or "What would you do?" But with some of this stuff, like maybe some of you guys that have been on the channel a little bit more, you could maybe be a bit more like. And some of you guys do Harry's members content as well, which is very good. I don't know if Harry's still here, but if you don't check that out, then you're missing out. 'Cause I think all the members content that is done on this channel and on Harry's has helped hundreds of people. So if you like this stuff, you like Harry's as well. Harry's got a different POV. The more POVs you've got, the better. But yeah, sometimes like that's a kind of little reflex I've got. So again, when I'm kind of struggling with a bit of this, maybe I don't have a Sorare person like that, like I do in real life or in friend groups or in previous jobs or whatever. But I kind of think of like you guys, and I think like what will the subscribers, what will the live chat, what will if I say I did this, what I mean, what would their reaction be? And it's not like to do things to keep people happy or anything like that, but in terms of like the strategies I've got and the kind of values I've got in the game, if I did just like do a U-turn on some of them for like flippant reasons, like fuck super rare, or you know what I mean? Like I'm just so close. I know McBride's done it this week, but like things like that, I think no, I'm being accountable to this strategy. I said I would do this and I would do that, and I'm building it out, and I've kind of got it to a good place now, and I kind of hold myself accountable. It's kind of to myself, but it's by doing that, it's with you guys, if you know what I mean. And I think when it comes to like gallery build, I don't know how this point actually started, so I'm just going to stop talking because I see the live chat. I see Harry Trades is still here. Fist bump, my man. Just make it. Great advice. Yeah, you're here. Yesterday in particular, I spoke to a few managers, showed me a lot, moving towards their advice now, and excited to see where it goes. Apologies if you reached out, it was off the computer. Just make it. Yeah, we can. I'm going to be on for another half an hour, mate. Got your gallery here. Just don't know what we're looking at. Obviously, a lot of super rares and stuff, but what's the name of the game, Mike? And you'll probably be last orders for us. But yeah, so I used to kind of try and preemptively get the feedback before getting it, so I could then say like, no, it didn't work. I did that thing, it didn't work. But then for at times it would work, and then that's advancement, isn't it? Training yourself in a roundabout way. That's the way I seen it, and that's kind of the way it kind of shaped out for me. But yeah, just make it. Let me know. What are we looking at? Is that just a general, like you've also got some in-season stuff here? We maybe looking in-season champ. Now, there's actually less in-season pressure at super rares. There's only 3 required, isn't there? Has this got commons and stuff in it? Yeah, I thought the card count was quite big. Oh, wow. Yeah, Mike, I know you had the big gallery, but just like all your keepers are starters, essentially, aren't they? Jesus, man. Like Olsen and Kelleher are backups. Lunin, Steele and Verbruggen are kind of two sides of the same coin. Every other keeper here is like a starter. That's incredible. Like, have you seen so many starter keepers? Like, that's incredible. Top line at defense is really good. Let's change this from quality rather than recency. Yeah, really, real top shelf here. Yeah, Mike, if you're here, let me know. Like, what is it we're we're wrestling with. If it's this, it might just be like, is it a lineup build to see what the. I think that's what I'm going to do in the absence of you coming into the chat. If you come into the chat, obviously, oh, under 23 is a top pick for you. Let's go to game week 19. Is that still the same? Yeah, so we've got a decent U23 segment. There will be a Premier League segment as well. And then there'll be Champ. So I'm not too sure. Oh, Bundesliga? No. La Liga? Rob C. I find I'm my own biggest critic sometimes, especially on Sorare, blaming myself for picking a player who got an error or a red card like I was supposed to know it. Yeah, well, the self-deprecation around team selection is universal. It's absolutely universal. So we all feel that, mate. You cannot know about the error led to goal, the penalty conceded, the red card, all that crap, of course. But see, when it's like a team that you had built, and I suffer from this maybe more than the average bear because of the deadline show. But like, look at this. Look at this. Like, I was so close. I don't know, what the hell am I doing, man? I was so close last weekend. Game week 15 it must be. Like, if you look at my supers, like was it this team? I had Cunha, I'd went double striker. Yeah, it was this team here. Couto for Cunha was this team. And that it'd have been Captain Cunha as well, of course. So Angelino would have brought in, like, I don't know, 10 less points or some shit. But we would lose the 148 from Couto, and we would gain 112 on the Cunha. So let's say it's a gain of 100. Oh, Jesus, actually, it wouldn't really made much of a difference. We would actually needed, still wouldn't have done it. I suppose defence and goalkeeper was a bit of a letdown. He was hanging on a clean sheet right to the end as well, which is a pain in the ass. But anyway, the amount of times I'm kicking myself like, Captain Cunha did 100. And kicking myself, you're always going to do that to yourself. But in terms of like, just like, is the team you were going to pick ish maybe? And it's like, oh, Scales. Oh, how could I pick Scales like that? You can't beat yourself up with that one. Scales is your team one guy, and you know, like, that's the thing as well. Like, I do try and do this when we're on these shows or these streams. You're always going to look at the big green dots, but you also, not that you have to think about it, but you have to be cognizant that everyone does 20. Everyone has a couple of game weeks where they don't break 60 or whatever it is, and that's part of the season. As much as you're waiting for this patch to come, when it's going to rain in deep greens, you also need to be prepared for this patch of the season where times are a bit tougher, clean sheets aren't happening, negative decisives come that way. Got a call? No problem, Mikey boy, no problem. Lineup order would be EPL in season, EPL Classic, La Liga D1, La Liga in season. And what is it we're looking at, Mike? Is it just the build you've got and any holes you've got? So let's go EPL in season. And what do we have to play with? We've got Steele and Verbruggen on the coin, so let's just go Verbruggen. We only need 3 in seasons. So this could be quite interesting, actually, the combinations available. You've got a lot of options, obviously. I think Trent takes a team. Matoma's a really good pick as well. You don't actually have that many mids. So then let's go classic forward with like a Salah. And then, yeah, like Guardiola. That's a build. That's a team one, if ever I've seen one. And then we don't have another in-season keeper, so we're playing a classic. I'm going to take Emmy, and then probably Pope thereafter. Do we get an in-season defender? We've got Sinise, who's okay. Van Hecke, let's put... You probably want to put Van Hecke with Verbruggen as a stack in general, but I don't subscribe to that. Let's say Van Hecke is in team 2. Saka is in team 2. We need an in-season forward. I think Cho is a great pick. And then we need one more in-season to get this team off the ground. I don't think we've got it in mid or defence, so maybe a double forward for a team like this. Sinise, I don't think as a double defence he works. Pedro as a double forward would work. Minty could work. Somerville, probably not right now. But let's say Minty. And then we probably can't get team 3 off the ground, I don't think, in season. So then after that, I would just say any advice you would have would be welcomed, and moving towards in-season more, so player suggestions there would be awesome. Any La Liga advice from you is huge, since you know it so well. Excellent. Team 2 in-season is in danger of no depth, looking to buy. Yeah, so Team 3's where it's at. Prem Classic was next, I think, wasn't it? So I'm going to go Pope. Or you could go Ederson. Let's just go Pope. Or let's go Ederson. Ederson, isn't it? Ederson. I like Rico Lewis if you know he's starting. Gab Mag is nailed, and so is Saliba. I'm probably going to take Gab Mag for the nail ability. We've then got like an Arsenal rig here. I don't know if we'll go the full way with Arsenal. Is Gakpo starting matches? Yes and no. Gakpo's starting. He is like high priority pick, isn't he? But outside of that, like McNeil's really solid. It's actually a good fixture for this demonstration lineup. And De Bruyne, who's injured. Jesus. Odegaard, who's injured. Rodri, who's injured. Bruno. Let's put Bruno into this. And then Team B. We'll probably get 3 teams out of this, don't we? Yeah. I'm probably going to go... Okay, go Raya then, Pope, I suppose. And again, these defenders are so good. Like, you're all quite interchangeable. These are all quite, like, who's the fixture, who's playing. You've got a lot of guys that are in the same boat, but it is just about picking your winner. Szoboszlai and Bruno. I'd probably go Madueke on this one, or maybe Solanke. Yeah, who was there mid we just seen there? Sorry, Bruno, wasn't it? And then Team 3, we get to... It's got the Popester in it. I'm probably taking Poro on peaks for the last team. You've also got hundreds of great guys if they're fit and available and stuff like that. We're not picking any of the ones that are injured at the moment, although they're very, very viable. I think maybe Solanke, and then you could, again, Gakpo, De Bruyne when fit. Odegaard's not far away. Like, I don't think for Prem. Like, yeah, Classic, you're quite cooking, aren't you? It's just the in-season part of it. Let's look at La Liga. Did you say you had in-season for that? No, Classic D1 and then in-season. So we've got Ramiro's, we've got Lunen's. Let's just say it's Ramiro, because Lunen's obviously a bit... Oh, no, do you have Courtois, in fact? Yeah, you do. Right, okay, so let's say it's Courtois. Let's say it's Lunen. Yeah, your defence doesn't excite me. Mingueza looked cheat coded at the beginning of the season, but that's kind of faded, hasn't it? Then we've got Jude in at mid. Yamal in at forward. You could take Dani Olmo. I don't think he's far away from fitness. Valverde, Vinny, Rodrigo. Griezmann. Let's just go Griezmann there. And then, like, defence. You don't want Mingueza in this particular game week. I don't think your Real Madrid guys, like... I know they're all quite okay. There's not really much of a better guy as there in La Liga in general, but... Front three of Liverpool's hard to predict. Diaz and Jota both playing well. International duties and stuff. Team 2 in season is... Oh, sorry, I read that comment. Wanizek, last game cost me with his first stinker in a while. Oh, gutted, mate. So yeah, I think for La Liga, we've done the in-season, the classic one, and then do we have in-season? Yeah, we've got Ramiro. I'm probably taking Aguerd in-season just for the setup there. Zubimendi's okay. Is there a better in-season forward, maybe? Nah, I think you just take Zubimendi. He's fine enough. I feel like he'll play all the time. Gets good AA. I then go classic Rodrigo. And then classic... Maybe Valverde. Bayena's not a bad shout either. I'm probably going to take Bayena because he's on sets and stuff. I think I should defence, but I said the defence in La Liga is quite a... You got 2 classics in D1. You've got the firepower to pull it off. In either way. Even this Natin guy's been alright. Still get Valverde. Still get Sergio Gomez. Still get Vinny and Mbappe. Like slaying. Carvajal out for the season. Fine. It could be Militao. I'll change it obviously, but... It wasn't that one. Militao, he's out for a fair bit as well, isn't he? Red injury mark there. Mendy. I like Mendy, he's fine. Yeah, I was just going to ask that. What defenders would you suggest I get? Now, I think with La Liga, like the number one defender in my book is Miguel Gutierrez, personally. A wee bit biased, but I think even if we scout it, we'll see. So what I wanted to check on this afterwards, sorry, was Champ Classic or Champion Season. Like, we should have tons left. Yeah, you've got some under 23s. You've got Teresiano. Unai Simon, who's injured, of course. Kim Min Jae. Just try to see who else kind of bleeds into this that we've not seen in the other builds. They've got like Calafiores and yeah, Champ is a bit of a field day for you. Camavinga, Fornals, Brais Mendes, Nico Gonzalez is in. You know, a few of these guys are you're still doing really well. But if it's a La Liga kind of focus we're after, I think Miguel Gutierrez is the defender to have. Like he basically plays up front. Girona don't keep many clean sheets. He's very decisive happy. He gets good AA as well. You've got a lot of really good classic mids and forwards like the Vinnies, the Bellinghams, Mbappes and Rodrigos. So I think I would want it to be an in-season La Liga defender that you try and beef out with a bit in that one. Like Mendy's okay, but Mendy's not a Team 1 guy, especially for the level of Team 1 you've already got. Blind is great, currently injured. Koundé is apex. I think Koundé is top. And I think Miguel Gutierrez is joint on that one for me. I don't know what we're playing with in terms of budget and whatnot, but just out and out, the guys you should get would be Miguel Gutierrez and the other one I just said that's totally fell out the back of my mind there, Koundé. It's hard to know what these guys would really go for as well, and I don't know what the budget is or whatever. Koundé's obviously depends on budget. Look at the guy, it seems you've, yeah. Now, Ratiu is tentatively linked to Atletico Madrid, and that's normally the end of these guys. He looks alright. Rayo look alright as well. He looked pretty good. What game did I watch for Rayo? Was that against? Oh, it was Girona, I think. It was this game. This Ratiu was really good, but see this guy Moomin. This guy's going to go somewhere. He's 26. It's hard to imagine like he gets to the fucking top, right? But this guy is a good defender. Stats aren't actually that bad looking at them for the first time, but he does kill teams. This guy's a good defender, IRL. So maybe just watch out for him. If you ever get mad cheap, you know what I mean? It's not somebody I would spend decent money on in that regard, because SO5 sucks. Scores generally suck. There's no in-season Miguel available. Just brought in Messi, Alba, Kalina, Selinatano and Zimmerman in season to put out a decent season MLS lineup. Joe Ducey. What are you doing? You saw his goal versus Osasuna. Ratia, yeah, was that his wonder goal? He's been good. He's been getting plaudits and stuff like that. He is a good player, but I don't know. I just worry about guys like this. You've seen it already with Mingueza. You've got Mingueza, I'm sure, but some of these guys just get a little bit of form, and see when they're at a team, and especially in La Liga, that isn't like supremely like the master of their own domain or the master of their own destiny. He's really doing this with decisives, isn't he? People should have known that was going to stop. He's not even looking at the camera. He's looking at the ceiling when they're taking the picture, isn't he? I think he's meant to do that. But no, I like Ratiu. Ratiu is not bad. Where's the page I was on with the? Oh, let's just go to. No, I don't think I went to this page. Oh no, I was just looking at this, wasn't I? See, Blind isn't bad. He's just injured. Blind is kind of fine. Doesn't really break over that 70-80 mark. He's not really had decisives this year to help him. But Blind is good. I think for me, Koundé is top pick. I don't think Kubarsi is a bad shout, but I think he's just mad overpriced, isn't he? Yeah, it's hard to imagine you getting Kubarsi at a decent rate. I just think he's like nailed. And a centre back like this that's nailed at Barca is like worth having. But yeah, Koundé and Miguel are both unavailable at the moment. Could you maybe You've got a lot. I was going to say, could you maybe get in season mid and then use a classic of one of these guys I've just mentioned? But I think you've got such good classics in other positions that that doesn't really add up. I'm so surprised that he's not really got a game yet at Betis, and that when he has, he's not been ripping it. I'm a big fan of Ricky Rodriguez as a player in general. I'm just trying to think if there's any other way I'm looking at more of these cards. Can we look at maybe auctions? See what guys are on auction? Instant buy? None, probably. Yeah. Just this guy. Javi Lopez, like, he's been fine. I actually need to dive off in like 5-10 minutes. But Javi Lopez, he's been good for Sociedad. Actually, you've just reminded me, the ultimate cheat code that seems to have emerged out. He looks fine. I would not be jumping into this guy anytime soon. He is mad cheap, but does he help you? Does he really help you? I don't know if I can get behind it. Yeah. Kubarsi and Araujo. Araujo might not be too bad on injury discount if you can get into negotiations with someone. But this wee guy, I was a big fan of him last year. He barely featured. He didn't get cards. Does he even have a super rare? He does. He's got 3. £21 days ago, 50 quid. 26 days ago, 150. Was that a number 1? No, I said 2. The one-off. Wow. And then this guy, Mick Macho. I'd get this guy if you can. 130 supers. Don't know what that guy will be like to deal with. Never heard of him. But Adam Barrow, he's an attacking fullback. I wouldn't go Inigo Martinez at Barca. He's just waiting to get dropped. Adam Barrow. Now, I think, yeah, when Toure comes back, Traore, I beg your pardon, Hamari Traore, when he comes back, already offered the 3 managers they didn't want to sell. Yeah, fair enough, because he does play international as well, and he scores pretty good internationally. So fair enough if you kind of get an Adam Barrow. Miguel, let's have a wee peek at who's holding his in seasons. Now, Girona World's not going to probably sell. 134, man, that's a bargain. Tooth, probably not if they've just traded them in. And 1 Johnny. 32 supers. Yeah, by the way. I dare say you could get a trade on the go with this guy. A deal could be made with this guy, I would think. But Miguel, Girona have been pish this year. I did say it this year, watch out for Girona being a bit of a banana skin. But the season started here at 501. And this is Girona being pish. I know it's not amazing, but for a fullback, I think that's pretty tidy. Doesn't really kill you overly as far as a fullback goes, obviously. And when he does get into form, Miguel's like, he's the best left back in Spain for me. Like, I can't believe, like, I was saying this on a stream this off season. I was saying, like, oh, I don't know where Miguel Gutierrez is going to be next year. You guys were like, no, Girona signed him. It was a loan that they made permanent. I didn't realise the permanent part had happened. Aguerd is super cheap. Mike, it's got Aguerd in season. In season Trent. In season Van Hecke. In season Aguerd. I suppose you've already got the Sociedad collection on the go. You'd have obviously known about Aaron Barrow already. I'm a fucking idiot. Aguerd's good, yeah. But it's the rest of that defence, like the Militaos, the Carvajals, like the Mohicas and the Riolas and all these other guys. Is there anyone else that's kind of good that's kind of off the radar a little bit? Is there anyone in my gallery I'd recommend? I try and avoid that, but with La Liga Super Rares, it's kind of my thing. Let's look at Rare and Super. Now, Arnau's just been given the captain's armband again. Did get a positive decisive this weekend, but also got a negative, so it's kind of hidden. Arnau could be back. And Arnau Arnaud can be good. Arnaud can be one of those fullbacks that, yeah, there we go, that's what I'm after. Arnaud can be one of those fullbacks that doesn't really lose possession, but doesn't really get involved in the final third. He's kind of like a midfielder. And he can get decisives, obviously. He's got a bit of that in his game. But he could be back. Maybe want to watch out for Galan. Could be back. Last man tackle. Love a jammy decisive like that. Yeah, so Galan could be back finally. Because for me, Galan at Celta Vigo was the best left back in Spain. Can we see those scores? Is this Celta Vigo? Yeah. Galan for me was the man. He was like the left back Aspas. You know what I mean? Like just rinse. Stupidly attacking. Yeah, there's nobody really jumping out here for me. Arnaud, yeah, he does look like a centre back. Like he's, yeah, definitely. He's not a full back kind of guy in terms of like body shape and even on the ball style. I just make it, you know, you've been around the block more than once, you know, Galan at Vigo, of course you do. And I don't know. Again, Starfelt seemed like a monster for a minute, but again, he just can't. There has to always be a random fucking DNP with Starfelt. He can't just be plain sailing. But it feels like he's kind of got his shit together a bit. And the good thing about guys like this, like Starfelt, at a team like Celta Vigo, is you want them to be playing somebody decent, where he's going to have to make a last man tackle or a clearance off the line, or like this against Atleti, no decisive, 27 AA, they lost 1-0. As long as they don't lose 3-0, they can still bring in a 62. Defenders like that are great. They're kind of hard to pick and get behind, but it's a problem. But yeah, guys, on that note, I think that might be just about all she wrote for me tonight. Thank you for your feedback. I will try on Miguel. I like him from a short time in Madrid. It was that, mate. Yeah, you've been here for ages, Mike. I didn't know if you'd been. I suppose you've got. Yeah, of course, mate. Sorry, I always try and talk quite broad strokes just to make sure I'm not. Sergio Cardona is a good one as well. I think he's made good progression in the league. And also, by the way, mild spoiler for the Tuesday stream, but I went through fixture lists and stuff like that, and see if you look at Villarreal's fixtures, like they've got some really good ones coming up. Oh, but he's made good progression in the league. Very fullbacky. He's maybe like a cheap man's Miguel, because he is more of a left back. Miguel is like kind of a 3-row playmaker in a lot of ways, but yeah, it was Miguel's time when he was coming off the bench at Real Madrid. I was like, wow, that guy's really good. Like, I really liked him. He didn't get much time at Real Madrid, did he? It's the last thing I wanted to look at. Yeah, Miguel at Real Madrid, because it was coming off the bench for them. And I was like, I'm following that guy because I don't know, I love fullbacks, and he just looked the part to me. Did have a wee bit. It was one of these games before he got good scores, because I remember seeing the good scores and being raging. I never bought one. Like, I knew he looked the part. Cadiz, Osasuna could have been that game, so he did quite well off the bench. Sevilla, I'm just trying to think about a game I would have actually watched. It could be 2-2 with Sevilla, and then yeah, he's then went and done this, and I've been like, oh fuck, I should have bought him. And really, see, after this, he's never been cheap. Then he was at Real Madrid as a wonder kid, and then this little wonder kid went to Girona. He's never ever been cheap. Yeah. Mallorca 6-1, 90 minutes he played here. I don't think I actually ever watched him start a game for Real Madrid. I think I seen him come off the bench a few times. Is that the only times off the bench? Did he come off the bench again? Yeah, it was. Yeah, I think it was really off the bench I seen him. I don't remember seeing him start, but maybe I did. It's hard to know what cards I had all the way back here. But no, I was a fan of him from this point, and I was like, no, I'm sticking to this guy. He's going to be good. I think Real Madrid must be kind of half gutted they've let him go. Ferland Mendy's amazing, but I think ultimately they know they're going to get Alphonso Davies, don't they? And it's like, yeah, we should have never. Oh, so you're a bona fide Real Madrid fan, just make it. Villarreal are flying this season, 3 out at home as well. Yeah, the best fixtures for sure. Yeah, like I've got the 26th for the 10th, 2nd of the 11th, 24th for the 11th, all looking good. And there's a bunch of other ones. I've just tried to highlight the good ones, you know. But yeah. Hey guys, I really like this one. We've been on for, I always like it when we're on for ages. I feel like we're getting through lots of stuff. 2.5 hours, thick end of it. I'm just going to clear up the tabs and whatnot. So we've had lots of Celtic content came out on Satara here this week. I'm actually going to go on somebody else's channel now, the Huddle Breakdown. If you watch Celtic stuff, they're really good. It's a recording, so I don't know when it'll go out. But we're doing it at 6. And I'm wearing a Leipzig shirt, so I need to change. Season ticket holder at the Bernabeu those years. Oh, love it. Best years of my life. Oh, Mike, I think I apologies, mate, again, but I think could have rotated with Mendy instead of Fran Garcia. Yeah, fair enough. Fran's not bad either. Fran's not bad. Just got McAllister's my 4th ever card. Do I sell him and build me 2 good teams, or use him with a bad team around him? The best? That's a really good question. Did you win it then? How did you get the McAllister? I guess you've won it, or you've crafted it or something. Depends how bad your team is. Like, give us a peek. What's your team name? Got 1 minute. Give me a team name rapid. I'll have a peek at it. You got me tempted. Got me interested. And then I'll love these and leave these. Crafted for 20 essence. Nice. Aye, so the best, give me your club name. I'll have a peek. I'll have a wee peek. You've got me intrigued. How bad is the team you've got? If you're winning essence, you've got boxes. It can't be that bad. I do like the idea, but of like a windfall like that, selling it and turning it into something. Let's have a peek. Copy. Paste. Nope, that's not it. So maybe flee to glory? No. Can you try what your manager name is or something? Oh, there it's there. Don't know why it didn't come up. There we go. So we've got McAllister. So what division you playing this in? Like specials and stuff? Yeah, I'd probably sell it, mate, because you've not really got a team here that can play coherently unless you're playing specials. But even if you are playing specials, you've not really got the firepower. I would sell it, mate. Yeah, I'd sell it. Awesome, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day. I think there's a really good stream on Sorare Data. It's starting at 6, so you've got 15 minutes to go for a piss and a pie and whatever else. Go and recharge the old batteries before that starts. Harry's probably live tonight as well, so feel free to check that out. Tomorrow deadline show. I better book that so it's on the thing and message Harry if he's still here. I'll message you shortly, bud. But yeah, have a good one, guys. Thanks for everyone that's tuned in. Thanks to all the channel members for all your support. Sincerely couldn't do any of this without yous. Oh, Victor Ludwisiak. Victor Ludwisiak. I'm terribly sorry, mate. I'm literally just about to go. Come back Tuesday. Tuesday we're doing like a beginner's like build stream. It's already booked on the channel. So if you go, that's probably the best thing to do before I leave you, right? If we go onto the actual YouTube channel. YouTube, there's Laird. That's starting soon. Your channel. There's Harry. He's got a wee video out. You can watch that as well in your downtime. And if we go to live on this tab on the page, you'll see here this one. If you click onto this, you can click on this little reminder and you'll get a little notification when we go live. So if you didn't catch anything today, or if you're like Victor and you've just shown up at the last minute, Tuesday we're doing lots of good stuff like this for all the subscribers. So jump on, find it, hit the notification button, and yeah, I'll see you next week for that. And yeah, have a good one, everyone. Take care.